Good. What time is it? Afternoon, you guys. I have something very, very, very important to talk about. So if you have, I promise I will not ramble, a little bit of time. This is all about meals, meals being a guide, intuitive eating, snacks, swaps, all of that jazz. Okay. So I was a little delayed on getting back to people's messages today because we had a lot about people, which is normal and good. And I'll explain why. But a lot of people wanting more snacks, wanting more swaps, wanting more switches. And when that starts to happen, it's time for this video. So ultimately, I do not want you to need to follow a meal plan for the rest of your life. That is not realistic. That is not sustainable. That is not intuitive. We were given hunger cues by the universe, by God, whatever you believe in, for a reason. Okay. So I do not want you inputting your food in an app until you're 80 years old. That is just not going to happen. So the first month, just to kind of ease some of you into this, okay, the first month is I want you to get used to a structure of eating. A lot of you are there's two sides. Either some of you are really, really under eating, that is the majority of women that I see, and then they get put on a structure of consistent meals and things start to fall into place. Some of the bloating aspects, the energy levels, they probably were avoiding carbs for a really long time, just of fear of not knowing. So that's one side of things. And then on the other side, some people kind of graze all day. And so getting into a structure of, let's say, 3 meals, makes them feel really hungry, but it's actually good to give your body a digestive break. So, whichever side you're on, the first month of this program is giving your body a chance to adapt to just a new structure and to feel the way it feels to be eating X amount for your body, for your calories, for your goals. Now, the reason your check ins are so important is because obviously, if you can do the body fat, if you have a scale that tells you that, that is so crucial. But if it's not, it's okay if you don't have that. But we want to be checking in because I adjust your calories as we go. Okay. Meaning, as you start to lose weight, we got to bump up, we got to bump down, we got to adjust things. So that is why those check-ins are so important. Okay. But that being said, after month one, we do kind of get into more of the intuitive side of things. And what I mean by that, and I'm hesitant to tell people this in the beginning, because in the beginning, I want to be responsive to you of giving you items and meals that you enjoy. Okay. So that is why I've been like trying to be really good with making swaps and changing meals and all these things, especially in the beginning. But as we move on, my goal is for you to do that yourself because again, that is realistic. And when I say that these meals are a guide, then it's like we got, Becky over here ending up at In-N-Out. She's like, oh, it's a guide. And I'm like, no, that's not what that means. So again, I'm hesitant to say that in the beginning, but what it is you can tell it's a fat, it's a carb, it's a protein. And like we need them all. And so you can also enter in other things in your app that are not on your meal plan. So like my goal for you is to A, start to notice how you feel eating this amount. B, as you go, like just make sure you're in that macro split for the most part, and you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. Like if things fluctuate a little bit and your carbs are a little bit under one day or your protein is a little bit under, like that's okay. And the two main things that I'm really concerned about of not being in your ranges, you need fat, like you just do. Obviously, there's like tends to be cases where people go way over on their fat, but that normally doesn't happen. I'm more worried about you getting enough protein because protein equals weight loss and fat loss. And I'm more worried about you not going crazy over or crazy under on your carbs. So if you're going to track two things, just track those, you know? So basically, my point of this is I'm happy to help you guys and be responsive to the switches and the swaps, but you also do have a sheet in your email and in your app that has a bunch of swap options of it. So for example, like people will be like, "Oh, I haven't been eating this dinner because it has broccoli." Like, switch it out. Switch it out. Who freaking cares? Get another green veggie in there. You like green beans? Cool. You like Brussels? Cool. Like those things don't matter. They don't matter. And you might see things on social media about certain veggies doing this and doing that. If they're green and bright and colorful, I don't care. So the same thing goes for your protein. If you have meals from me that are like ground beef, ground chicken, and you want to do ground turkey, or you want to do a turkey pat, like a ground turkey patty instead, or you want to do ground beef, like be mindful of the fat content. Don't go like have a mix, always try to go for the lean. But if they don't have it one day, it's fine. Just buy what they have and that's going to be okay. So I just wanted to put this out there because as we enter in June and get further along here, so sorry, my kitten. As we get further along here, my goal for you is to understand your body on a level that nobody else does. I want you to know when you can afford to indulge a little bit, but always coming back to this baseline of balance. We're never going to cut out carbs and be that girl again. We're never going to go crazy restrictive, but we're going to learn as we go and we're going to make swaps on our own and we're going to be okay. So I hope that that helps you. I know I've had some people asking me like, am I going to be on this plan forever? I'm like, no. And like, also, I don't want you on a plan forever. We're just starting small. So if you think you're never going to get there, I can assure you, you will. But that's that. And so I will be putting more info out about this. I know some people are getting a little bit snacky. So I can put in snacks for you, but I also want you to keep in mind protein can always be a snack. Always. You want to have a chomp stick, you want to have some beef jerky, you want to have some Greek yogurt, fine. Like throw it in. You want to have some carrot sticks and some hummus. You want to have just a protein shake. Totally, totally, totally fine. Also, while I'm talking, I might as well just say this now. Protein recommendations. Naked Way is a fantastic brand. I've been eyeing them for a while. I still have a protein powder that I'm finishing, but I'm about to order them next. I've heard great things. So if you're looking for a whey protein, I would suggest that. If you're looking for plant-based, I would suggest Truvani. She's like the food babe girl on Instagram. And with protein powders, you just want to be mindful of sucralose, of natural flavor. It's not natural. And a lot of protein powders, if they're cheaper, which is so fucked, right? It's so fucked. If they're cheaper, they haven't been processed very well and they heat up in a certain way that causes just bloating and like inflammation in the body. So if we can avoid any more bloating, we want to. So that's my stance on protein powder. And I don't want to make this super long or overwhelming. So just know that the goal is for us to work together every month, every week on using these recipes as a guide, switching veggies up, switching proteins up, but ultimately, like 4 ounces is like the deck of your hand as a woman. 4 to 5 ounces of protein, and you're going to be okay and you're going to figure it out. Okay. So if you have any other questions, let me know. I'm going to be putting out a lesson this week on morning routines and evening routines and the importance of that and tips for that. So stay tuned to that. I never want to blow you guys up too much and make this feel like it's like a course. So I'll go kind of like let you do your thing for a little bit. We check in and then I'll come back and do like a big what's up type of thing. So I love you all. I'm really proud of you. Keep me updated. Do not lose that fire. Do not lose that motivation. It's one day at a time. What do I always say? Head down, headphones in. I'm moving, I'm grooving. I have goals. And think about where you'll be at 4th of July if you keep going right now. Okay? Give yourself that. So, love you, and I'll talk to you soon.